Hi, in this video we're going to see how we can create an admission for a student uh, that approaches a branch. So to create an admission you need to log on to the branch where you would like to create an admission for. Click on the branch management, log in with your username and password. I'm going to select school here and log in. Okay. So to create an admission, basically the branch should be set up with all the required information to admit a student. Like they has to define all the features, they has to define classes, they has to define sections, they has to define academic years, they has to define batches. Everything needs to be defined first to create an admission. Now look one by one. So the academic years got defined. Well, so they define academic years and the academic years are active. Very importantly, the academic year need to be active. Second thing is they define batches. Yes, they define batches. So batches need to be defined. Here is the batch defined for 2012 and 2013. And classes need to be defined. Yes, there are classes defined. They define, let us see. Yeah, a lot of classes like 1 to 10 classes has been defined. So let's see how the sections. Yes, they define also sections. A lot of sections got defined here. That actually means that every class, for every class, they define a section. So these are the primary things basically uh, required to do the admission. Most importantly, all these sections, classes, and academic years need to be active. That actually means that all the data setup has been correct and set it to active. And one more thing is you should also define branch level features. So basically we have only branch level fee here, which is a development fee. Okay, sounds good. Now we can go ahead and create an admission. To create an admission, basically the process is to go to admissions, um, new admission, and enter the student details. Okay, so we have to select for which batch we are admitting the student. Based on that, it will pull up the academic years related to batch. So for that batch, we have only one academic year because this is school. But if it is a college or maybe a long-term duration of a course, which requires multiple academic years to complete. Example, engineering requires 4 academic years to complete this course. So those things you'll see for which academic year the student will be joining, kind of stuff. So in this case, since it is a school, we got only one academic year. So after I select the academic year, it will populate the classes for the academic year. Let us see. We're going to admit the student for uh, 10th class. Okay. So his previous qualification is required. Basically, it's optional here, but you can do whatever you want. So 9th. So give the first name. I'm going to say Jim. Last name is Doe, and date of birth is going to be 19. Almost going to be 13 years. So 1994, something like that. April 1st, and he is a male. His nationality is Indian. Religion, Hindu, mother tongue, Telugu, reservation category OC, and he's going to be, let's see, he's going to be hostler. Say next. Some contact address. City is going to be India. State AP. Pin code 500032, and his mobile. This is a primary contact. Can be anyone's mobile, like his dad's, mom's, or guardians. and email at his dad John Doe at gmail.com. Say next. We're gonna take his parents' information. For now, we're gonna only take his father's information, and we'll also consider the address of his father is same as the primary address we enter. And his name is John, and his date of birth is 1971 something. Same next. If he has previous educational details and if you want to fill here, you can fill these details, otherwise you can skip this step. Say next. It will give you basically an information about what you fill here. So name of the student is Jim Doe, date of birth male, applying for the batch, and for which class is applying, his previous educational qualification, residence type is going to be hostel, his contact information. See, there is a typo here, you can go back and change. Okay, now I go next. Still have same information here. Go next and go next and make sure everything is okay. Looks okay to me. So the father contact address is exactly same as the primary address, and here is the father details. So now I can submit this admission. It will create an admission in EEMS application. So admission has been created successfully. So to create a submitted applications, you can search for submitted and search. Got here Jim Doe. A new admission is submitted. The registration number is 102, which ends with 102. And he's applying for class 10th for this academic year. Status as submitted. So now what you can do is, in order to admit this student, there are a couple of more steps that need to be followed. Select the admission first. You can either reject this admission or review this admission. So let us review it. And the review process is, so you call for an interview, you know who applied, his name and all the contact information. Now say that call for face-to-face something like that, and save this status. And still now if you go back, otherwise you can see the admission status in review. Basically we are reviewing this candidate. That will give you you can see the status history here. So initial state is submitted, and after that basically someone asked for review. You can see the comments here. Call for face-to-face interview with principal. Okay, so once the interview has been done, you can complete this review process. You can say here application and applicant. Good can is allowed to admit in is allowed to proceed with next steps. for admission. Some comment, I'm actually making it more meaningful, but you can give some comments here. And I can say review, and once the application has been reviewed, and later you can come back and accept this admission. So basically why we differentiate is, so there will be a team, you can actually make one team reviewing your applications and one team accept the application. So it can be the work can be separated logically here. That's the reason you have to review it first and accept it. So accepting can be done by higher level guys, like maybe a principal or someone else. So accept admission, and at this place you need to select for which class you are accepting. So applied for 10th, it doesn't mean that we always accept for 10th, but in this case yes. Proceed for next steps for admission and accept. Once the application has been accepted, you can change here. You can see here the status has been accepted. Now he is eligible to admit. It is up to the candidate to join the school or a college. So once he start joining, we can admit that guy. It's first come first serve most of the times in Indian schools they follow. So if the candidate is willing to join, you can click on this admit admission and select the classification. Basically you can also classify the students. Let's see, this guy is a platinum guy, and so for the 10th class we have two sections, and we can actually select for which section we are admitting. Section A, and submitted documents, what documents is submitting, address proof, date of birth, transfer certificate, caste certificate. It's up to you. If he has any medical things, so if you don't have anything, that's fine, and admit. So admission has been successfully, admission status changed to admitted. So this is important here. Once he's gone admitted, we are not going to change any data here. You can only view the data on the application status. You see here, submitted, in review, reviewed, accepted, and admitted. Now you can see student in the students list. He joined for 10th class. I'm going to select the students in 10th and whose status is active. Search. You can see here Jim Doe is active now. He's under the 10th class. Select this guy. And very important day I want to show you is how the fees has been applied after he has admitted. So we go to the payments. So the development fee has got applied here, admission fee, hostel fee, and tuition fee has been applied. That is how the fees have been defined for the 10th class for this particular branch. That's what the admission process is. How we can admit a candidate or a student for a particular class and a section in a school, college, or an engineering college. See you guys in the next video.